And now for something completely different. Hello everyone and welcome to our Thursday night stream. My name is John Costello and I don't need these. And I'm the artistic director of the Buffalo Chamber Players. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We have a great program for you planned, so thanks for joining us. That first montage that you just heard is John Philip Sousa's Liberty March, Liberty Bell March, better known as the opening tune from Monty Python's Flying Circus. So a little tribute there to Monty Python. And let's see, the piece actually originally was not titled Liberty Bell. Sousa didn't have a name for it. He wrote it in 1893 for a operetta that he was working on. I think it was I wrote it down here, The Devil's Deputy. And it turns out the piece, the operetta, the funding fell through and it was never produced, and later he was watching a show some big Americana show that they lowered this gigantic Liberty Bell, and he was inspired. And it's like, I have this piece lying around. Let's call it the Liberty Bell March. And now we all know it, and the President's Own band has played it many, many times and recorded it. And we wanted to do our own little string version. We found an arrangement online. It was the best $2.95 that I've spent in a long time. So I hope you enjoyed it. We added a bass there with Brett just to add a little more oomph on the bottom. So it was fun. The next piece that I'm going to be doing and I'm going to be trying it live over here, is by our composer in residence, Caroline Malin. And it's one of many pieces that she wrote for, it's a bigger work, or collection, I guess. She calls them string tunes. And I'll be doing two selections. I'll do one now and one later in the program. So string tunes, they deal with the nature of violin, viola, or cello that they're written for. And there are a lot of finger patterns that happen in them and different tunings. So for this one, let me get my viola. I need my bow too. Tighten this up. This one's called Lullaby, and the tuning, the top strings are tuned like normal, A, D, G, but the C string has to be tuned down to a low A. So let me do that now. Hold on. You know, I'm going to be switching mics for this one. I have another mic, so let me set this down, turn it off. I'll be right back. Look at that. Great. I think you should be able to hear there. Good. So that's a great sound. The string's a little floppy because the C string that's going down a minor third, that's quite a lot to tune down. So I hope you enjoy Caroline Malin's Lullaby. You might hear a little quote or allusion to the famous Brahms Lullaby at the beginning, but it goes from there. So I'm a little cramped here, so a lot of computer and things, but enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're clapping. I can't tell. I can't hear anything. It's very strange. Um, so again, if you just tuned in or tuned in a little late, Celine Dion was here earlier. Sorry you missed it. You can watch the rebroadcast later on YouTube. Let me just switch again to my other mic. There we go. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I'll get to the comments, but thank you. I see a lot of bravos and thank you. So thank you so much. That means a lot. And I'll type something eventually. I'm a little busy now, but thank you. Again, that was Caroline Malin's Lullaby from her string tunes. And these are works that we're waiting to be able to get back together in a hall to start recording these. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next few months or 4 months, hopefully we'll be allowed to go into a recording studio and get them recorded. So on with the show. This next piece, oh, hold on, I have something about it. Oh, where's my phone? Oh, here's my phone. This next piece is by J.S. Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach is one of his cello suite movements from the fourth cello suite. Is the Allemande movement and is played by Drew Kohn. I don't know how many of you know Drew. He's the son of two of my colleagues in the BPO, Doug and Andrea Kohn. He's a fabulous cellist. He's a third year at Juilliard right now. And let's see, I have some notes here about the name of his quartet because he has a wonderful quartet. It's the Abeo String Quartet, ABEO String Quartet. So check them out. I'm sure they have a Facebook page or something. If not, we'll link to it eventually. But Drew sent me a movement. He's at his parents now, like all of us. Like he had to leave school. Schools are closed, so he's been having remote lessons and things like that. Kind of like I'm talking to you now. He's having lessons with his teachers like this, which is very strange, but we're doing what we can. So here is Drew Kohn playing the Allemande from the fourth cello suite. bravo, bravo, Drew. That was great. And so again, Drew Kohn playing Bach's Allemande from the fourth cello suite. He's great, and you know, all of us in the BPO in the Philharmonic, we've known him since he was a tiny lad, young man, and then he did GBYO and played side by side with us, and eventually even came back and he soloed with the orchestra. So it's great. His string quartet, the Abeo String Quartet, they won the silver medal at the Fischoff Chamber Music Competition recently. And a great story, which shows you what a great player, but also how hard it is to shake Drew. Right before they played their final round of the Fischoff competition, the scroll, was it the scroll or the neck? But basically, I believe it was probably the neck of Drew's cello came off right before they were to take the stage, and he had to borrow a cello from somebody else to play that final round, which that's hard to do, especially for such a young performer. So keep an eye out for Drew. He's great, and he's going to do great things in the field. Next, we have a work by Dmitri Shostakovich. Dmitri Shostakovich was born in St. Petersburg, I believe in 1906, lived until 1975. And we're going to be playing, let me just move this over. We're going to be playing, well, I'm not going to be playing because it's not for viola. It's from his three, what's the name of the piece? I should know this. Three duets. I thought there were three preludes because there are three preludes later on in the program. From three duets for two violins and piano. This is the third movement, the waltz. And it's being done here without the piano. It's just two violins, Amy Licata and Andrea Kohn, who happens to be Drew's mom. So enjoy Shostakovich's waltz for two violins. Bravo. That's great, you guys. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Andrea, for putting that together and sending it in. Again, that was Shostakovich's waltz, third movement from the three duets for two violins and piano, but without piano. But I think it works beautifully without it. So thanks. it's it's not the typical Shostakovich we think of. I don't know what year he wrote it, but it's definitely very light and happy. So hope you enjoyed it. Let's see. I'm going to take a little time here. I think I did this last time, and we have to do this because without them, our sponsors, without whose support these streams or none of our activities would be possible. So again, thank you, ABC Omega, our corporate sponsor, for your support. And then the Cullen Foundation and the New York State Council on the Arts. We get two very generous grants from them to make our concerts possible. The Cullen Foundation is a local foundation. New York State Council on the Art gives money statewide, and we're lucky to be one of their recipients of one of their grants. So thank you. And as always, thank you to viewers like you that not only tune in, but we don't do a lot of asking, financial asks, but people still you still come up and step up and send us money, which makes these things possible. So we really appreciate it. I'm a little bit behind with some of the thank you cards that I have to do, but I will get to it. I promise. And let me just switch now. By the way, if you want to join the other people that have supported us, you can go to our website, www.buffalochamberplayers.org, and I think there's a tab at the top about support, and that's reach out to us. We'll get in touch and figure things out. So let's see. I think I'm going to do some more live music. So let me switch to this. And I need to move my music stand. So next, let me find the second page. Okay, good. Good. Let me get the viola. So this piece is also by Caroline Malin, our composer in residence, and is part of her stream. Oh, I almost knocked down the painting. Don't do that. There, perfect. This was titled Dublin. A lot of her pieces are titled from places where she composed the repertoire. I think last week we had her Bidwell Trio, which was written, the Bidwell refers to Bidwell Parkway, where we were in residence at the Buffalo Seminary. This one is Dublin, and I think, Carrie, I think you're watching this, so maybe you can type in or why it's called Dublin. Maybe it's Dublin, Ireland, but I'm not sure. Ohio. Or Dublin, Ohio. Yeah, I'm sure there's yes, Dublin, Ohio. I'm sure, but she'll type it in, and we'll announce it at the end. This one, like the other one, also uses scordatura, which scordatura is just a different way of tuning the viola. So unlike the other one that had the low C tuned down to a G, not to an A, I apologize. This one, the bottom strings are tuned as normal, C and G. So let me tune them because they're a little out of tune. And then the top strings are also tuned to C and G, right? So they match the bottom strings an octave up instead of being the regular D and A. So. So my lowest string matches my second, two strings up, and then the third string matches the first string, an octave. And she just typed in, she just reported that it's Dublin, New Hampshire, where the Walden School is. And Carrie works with the Walden School. Carrie, I forget your title there, but it's a very nice high up title. She does incredibly creative things there with other composers and musicians, young musicians especially. So it's a wonderful place that I wish I could go to. So this is called Dublin from String Tunes. Enjoy. Thank you. It's fun. It's so much fun to play. And that's what really I love all the string tunes. They're all very different, but Alan. Oh yeah, let me switch mics so you hear me a little better. Let me put my lavalier mic, that's what they call these, and switch scenes. So no, don't play that. That was the beginning. Woo. That was the beginning of the show. Yeah, they're all so much fun, and that one really has what I was talking about earlier about the finger patterns. So you do the same fingering on each string. So I'm actually doing the same fingering on each string, down and up, and it's just so much. Oh, did my mic go weird? Oh, maybe I hit it. It's just so much fun to play, and it's hard to translate that or express that to the audience, but. It's sort of like not gym class, because I don't like gym class, but it's that feeling of there's a physicality to the music that most pieces don't have. So Carrie, I think maybe next time we'll have Caroline Malin on the phone or in video conferencing with us, because she can probably tell you more about it than I, but it's a lot of fun, and Carrie, thanks for writing them. It's great music. So what's next? Let's on with the show. By the way, today's going to be a little short. I think last week we went a little crazy. Our show was like an hour and a half or so, and we even had a. Oh, by the way, if this were to crash like it did last time, just hop back on Facebook or YouTube, and hopefully we'll be back on. It's like unless you hear me say so long everybody, see you next week, the show's not over. So, but we had a crash last week, and I think we lost some people. Also, at the end of every broadcast, all these streams are still available after the fact. I mean, it's not as fun because it's not live, but it's the same thing. You just pretend it's live. And you can watch them, or if you have friends or even students that may want to see them, please do share them. We create these for you now live and for anyone else that wants them later. So what should we play? Let's see, we have, oh yes, I love this piece. I had never heard even of the composer. This is a piece by Robert Muchinsky. Have I heard of Muchinsky?
Tons of wind music.
Okay, never mind. Ellen says I've heard a lot of Muchinsky. He wrote a lot of wind music, but I'm a string player, so we just sort of hear it and not process it sometimes. So what can I say? Sorry about that. So Robert Muchinsky was a Polish-American composer, born 1929, passed away 2010, so not that long ago. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. I forget where he died, but it doesn't matter. He was a pianist by trade, but he wrote a lot of wind music, as Ellen was shouting from over there that I know who Muchinsky is. At any rate, this is his 3 preludes for unaccompanied flute, Opus 18, written in 1963. And to perform them are the BPO's second flute player, Linda Green, good friend, and you've seen her with the chamber players several times. She sent me this recording of them, so hope you enjoy them. Thank you. Let's see. Bravo, Linda. Thank you for sending that in. It's a great piece. and yeah, Machinsky, Robert Machinsky, Polish-American composer. Wrote a lot of wind music, great music too. So, and now that Ellen mentioned it, yes, I do remember Robert Machinsky. I just didn't know he was Robert. Maybe that's why. Maybe I thought he had some exotic first name, but not that there's anything wrong with Robert. It's a perfectly fine name, Robert. So thank you, Linda. And I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, yes. Just as always, I try to share other streams that happen throughout the week that you might want to tune into. Let's see. There's tomorrow is Second Friday, and the Birchfield Penny Art Center is doing their Second Fridays are virtual now, so you can go to their website or find them on Facebook, Birchfield Penny Art Center. They're doing a lot of art events, but also some music events. I think it starts at 5 o'clock and it goes on till 8 or 9. So you can jump in and out as you see fit. Just check their schedule and see what you might want to listen to. Then, as always, on Tuesday evenings, the BPO, the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, does its radio broadcast on WNED Classical or Classical WNED 94.5. And on their website, I think it streams as well, so you can catch it. I don't know what their program is next week. I probably have it somewhere here, but if you go to the BPO's website or Facebook page, it'll tell you all about it. At the same time, on Tuesdays, while the radio show is going on, Cheryl Hadaka, the horn player with the BPO, and also a Buffalo Chamber player, and then Javon Dunn, the assistant conductor of the BPO, have a Facebook group that they chat, that they do online commentary. It's quite great. I drop in and you can learn a lot about the music that's being broadcast over the radio, and some of it is about the music, some of it is about what it was like to perform it. So definitely stop by. Then Wednesday nights, the Menagerie Trio streams from 7:30 to 8:30. So that's another great stream that you can stop by. They're very lucky to have three great musicians under one roof that can make music and share it with you. So do tune into their streams. They're on Facebook, the Menagerie Trio. We'll have links on our Facebook page as well. And something, I don't know if it'll happen next week. We'll be streaming next week. We're thinking for the future. We're not sure how long we'll be able to stream every week. So after next week we may have an update on that. But you can always get our schedule on our website, www.buffalochamberplayers.org, and we always post our streaming schedule. Right before the stream, we also post links to where you can catch the stream, and it also has links to the previous week's stream that you can watch it on your while you're at home every day, like we are. So that's that. And send us ideas that you may have for our stream. I know in the beginning we did our cold open was for Monty Python's Flying Circus intro. Maybe if enough of you chime in and donate, you have to donate for this. Maybe we'll recreate the whole Dead Parrot skit. No promises though. I will say, just send us idea. We've been toying with the idea of also maybe having kind of like Drew Kohn just played today. He's the son of some of our musicians. Perhaps we should have a Buffalo Chamber Players friends and families where all of us have children that play at various levels. So it could be a fun stream as well. Just trying to keep this fun for everybody. And yeah, so that might be cool. But send us ideas. We love ideas. That way I don't have to come up with stuff. It's great. So next on the program, I think that is next on the program, is a piece by Joaquin Turina, Spanish composer. Let me get his dates very quickly for you. Joaquin Turina, born 1882 and died in 1949. He was born in Seville, Spain. And the piece that we're going to share with you now is his Sin Andaluz, or Escena Andaluza. So he used the French. A lot of those Spanish composers early in the 20th century used the French titles because maybe it sounded more exotic. Andalusian Scene, so Scene Andalou, written in 1913. It's definitely very Spanish, but it has a lot of French impressionism in it. So this is from a concert. I can't remember if it was 2-3 years ago. I can't remember when yesterday was. So, but it was a few years ago that we did an all Spanish program. I think it was Viva España at the Albright Knox Art Gallery. That was, I think, 2 years ago. And the piece is for solo viola and piano quintet. And playing the solo viola part is Carolyn Gilbert, the BPO's principal violist and frequent chamber musician. Also, just a little bit of trivia. If you saw the BPO's Stravinsky Firebird video that's been making the rounds, and if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great, uplifting video about Buffalo and great images. So Carolyn and Brett Shirtlift. Brett played the bass last week. He played live on our stream. Both of them were behind that project, and they were the ones that got everything together, and not only the musical talent but the technical talent to pull off something like that. So thank you, Carolyn, for that. And yeah, without further ado, let's enjoy Joaquin Turina's Scene Andalou. That's such a great piece. I love that piece. And yeah, Carolyn plays it beautifully. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. That was Joaquin Turina's Sin Andalou. And you saw in the middle, there was some clapping in the middle. It's actually in two movements, sort of loosely. I mean, the music does stop and start again. And it's when it starts, it's supposed to be late evening, late afternoon, early evening, and then the sun sets and it's nighttime, and there's supposed to be a serenade, and then there's a habanera. There's people dancing, and they party all night long. And at the end, there's something from a window, a view from a window, and the music thinns out in the wee hours of the morning, and it ends. And it's a beautiful piece by Joaquin Turina. So I hope you enjoyed it. I want to give a shout out to the Lancaster High School students and orchestra that are tuned in tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Very nice of you to stop by and let us know, or let me know if you have any questions or anything, either now or email me some questions or anything. We'd love to chat. So thank you. And let's see, well, it's 8 o'clock. We're trying to keep this to an hour. So let me just, I need to thank tonight's performers, Linda Green, who played the fabulous Robert Muchinsky, 3 Preludes. Lauren Silvertrust, she was involved with Amy Licata and myself and Eva and Brett. We did the Sousa at the beginning, the Monty Python's Liberty Bell. Andrea Kohn, she played in that last piece as well with Amy. Carolyn played the solo. Eva played in many things. Drew, thank you, Drew, for your wonderful Bach. Brett, that was great bass playing in Sousa. And Susan Schumann was the pianist in the Turina at the end. So let's see, let me just come back. Yeah, so like I said, we'll be back next week, definitely next week. After that, we may go every other week or something. We got to figure it out. And if we space them out, maybe perhaps we can make them even bigger. It gives us a little more time, because this is very time consuming. I mean, we love doing these concerts and putting them together, but it's a lot of work. And thank you, a few of you, even as the stream was going, the concert was going, hopped on our website and donated. So thank you so much. It's not necessary, but it goes a long way to help us continue making these programs. So thank you. And yeah, that's it. Well, thanks for tuning in, and keep chatting away in the comments. I'll leave the last, as always, we end with our end credits are Making Whoopee. So for string quartet. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ellen. I almost forgot. Peter Hall, Buffalo Rising. Wonderful article. Thank you so much. I don't know how many of you read the article, the feature on Buffalo Rising about these streams. So thank you, Peter. It helps us get the word out. We'll keep doing these even if it's the same people tuning every week, but obviously we'd love to see more people. So tell your friends, invite them, and share links. Really appreciate it. So thank you, and everyone stay safe and healthy, and be careful out there. And as always, make whoopee.